Today we are going to be going over how to install TrueNAS on one of your old computers, or if you are lucky enough to have a dedicated server, you can install it on there too. Okay, so basically what you're going to need to do to install TrueNAS is you're going to need to download it from their website, which I'll include a link to in the description, and then you're going to need to get a flash drive. It has to, I think, be at least 4 gigabytes, and then you're going to need to download it to that flash drive. And then you're going to need a flash drive, SSD, hard drive, with at least 16 gigabytes storage to download TrueNAS. Once you're done with that, we'll go through the setup, and then you should be ready. Okay, so basically what you're going to need to do to download TrueNAS is you're going to go to their website. You don't need to do any of this. You don't have to sign up. You can just say you've already signed up. And then you're going to want to download TrueNAS CORE right here. There's minimum requirements. You don't need the minimum requirements. You do need Ethernet is recommended, 16 gigabytes. You don't really need that much. It recommends it, but you don't need that much. You will need at least one disk. I recommend getting another one for all of your storage and stuff. You don't need to run anything in RAID. You will need a 64-bit CPU though. So we're just going to go here and download it. Okay, so basically what you're going to need to do to download TrueNAS is you're going to go to their website. You don't need to do any of this. You don't have to sign up. You can just say you've already signed up. And then you're going to want to download TrueNAS CORE right here. There's minimum requirements. You don't need the minimum requirements. You do need Ethernet is recommended, 16 gigabytes. You don't really need that much. It recommends it, but you don't need that much. You will need at least one disk. I recommend getting another one for all of your storage and stuff. You don't need to run anything in RAID. You will need a 64-bit CPU though. So we're just going to go here and download it. Okay, and then once you get to the file opening thing, you're going to want to open your ISO file. And you're going to want to select your target, which will be your flash drive. Okay, and then once you're done flashing, you'll just want to close this tab. And then you're just going to need to ignore that because it's just what happens when it flashes it. Then you're going to want to eject your flash drive. And then you're going to want to plug this into your computer, which we'll go to right now. Okay, so I'm on my computer now. I've plugged the flash drive in. Now for this, you're going to need to either get into your boot menu, or your BIOS, or your boot device selection. I'm just going to go into my boot device selection. I'm using a Dell computer, but I'll include a list of how to get into your BIOS in the description. Now once you get to here, I'm just going to boot off of this drive. And you know it's working if that shows up. So when that happens, you're just going to want to press enter, and it will automatically do everything. You are going to have to select some stuff once it's done. It's going to go through this. If you don't know what anything is doing, don't worry, it's just loading. You're fine. You didn't break anything. And then once you get to here, you're going to want to go to install or upgrade. It doesn't matter if you don't have the recommended 8 gigs of RAM. Then you're going to want to install it on whatever device you want to install it on. And to select it, you're just going to tap the space bar. And you're going to want to install your yeah, it's going to tell you, warning, this will erase all partitions and data. So as long as this is a new drive or you don't have anything on this drive, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to want to create a password. You'll need this once you're done setting this up to get into the web page for it. Make sure it's a password that you can remember. And then for me, I'm going to boot via BIOS, and then it'll go into here. This will take anywhere from like 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how old your computer is, how much RAM it has, what CPU it is, all that kind of stuff. So I will come back once this is done. Okay, so once it's done installing, you'll get to this screen, which then you'll want to press enter. And then you're going to want to reboot your system. And then once it's shut off, when it's rebooting, after your computer turns off, like right now, you're going to want to unplug your installation media or your flash drive that you have TrueNAS installed on. It should. Okay, well, mine, I have to change it to boot from the hard disk, or my USB hard disk, which would be this one. Escape. Now, it's going to boot up, and you're going to need a computer to finish the rest of the setup. So you can press enter to boot into it. And for this, once you access this, you're gonna need to have a computer and a web browser. Booting up should take like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so once you get to this screen, right here should show your IP address, but I'm not sure why mine is not showing that. I will be right back after I troubleshoot. Okay, I'm back. I didn't plug it in right. Or I didn't plug my Ethernet cable all the way in. So I'm going to reboot my system, and it should show my IP address. Okay, so once you get to this screen, your IP address should be there, and from there, you're going to want to type your IP address into your web browser. You're going to want to do the HTTP, not HTTPS, because Google is going to say, oh, this is not a secure website. So let's go switch over to my browser, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, so basically what you're going to need to do once you get to your web page, you're going to want to type in HTTP, and you're going to want to do basically just copy what it says on your screen into your web browser, and then it should load up a web page that says this. And now to do this, the default username is root, and then you're going to want to enter your password here, so whatever you put as your password. Okay, so now you're going to get to here, and this is the page where it shows you all of your statistics on your computer, how you're connected, how much RAM you have, your CPU use. And now from here, you can go to, if you go to storage, you can see your disks, like how much storage you have. Like I have a 1 terabyte drive and a 250 gigabyte drive. And you can also go to plugins, which allows you to get, we'll just ignore that right now. You can get you can start a Plex server, sync thing, which basically just allows you to upload all of your files to your NAS, but then you can also go to the community and get ad blockers. I think somewhere in here even, there's a home assistant. There's a few of them actually. Media servers. And my favorite, MineOS, which basically allows you to run a Minecraft server off of your NAS. Now this is going to work well on a newer computer or one with more RAM and a better CPU, because if you're using like one with my system statistics, it's not going to be well. I've installed it on my old NAS install and it crashed a lot. I forget what the recommended requirements are. And then OpenVPN, you can get that, which is basically it's a virtual private network. Is there anything else in here? And then you can also run virtual machines off of here. And then to use plugins, you're going to have to create a pool or a jail. Or you're going to have to create a pool, then create a jail off of that pool. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll show that in a different video. But yeah, now you have TrueNAS installed, and I'll go over how to use plugins, run a Minecraft server, all that kind of stuff. That's all I gotta say. Bye.